Hey, so here is solution number 1210. Gender. Now, I'm just asking, why does gender have to be so tightly secured to identity, clothing, outerwear, body parts, how we feel, who we bed? Why does it have to be connected to any of those things? I mean, when you go to the doctor or the eye doctor, or like you go anywhere and they just want to know the basics so that they can treat you. Because that's, our physical bodies, they need to know what the fuck's going on so that they can treat us the best. Do you have your period? When was the first day of your last period? Men, I'm not sure what they do to you when you go to get checkups. But why does that have anything to do with what we wear, who we bed down, what we decide to call ourselves, how we feel comfortable in our own skins, and how we want to present ourselves to the outside world so that we can live our best lives? Why does it have to matter? Why are we fighting over something that doesn't have to be connected? Whether you have a penis or a vagina or some kind of combination in between, why does that matter? You know what I mean? So, like, there's this big, everybody, what they want to be called, with their gender. Who cares? I don't know the right word because I'm being, just having a hard life with a lot of workplace harassments and things like that. So I don't have the time or the ability to educate myself on the things that I'm thinking in my head so that I can relay them properly, because I lack the words to express certain things that I have learned or have gone through or have seen. So bear with me. The physicality of our bodies doesn't have to be a fight. You know what I mean? So, dude, I go through phases all the time. Like, there are times, like, I'm straight, like, right now, I call this my trailer park homeless gear. I feel like I'm not even a human being some days. Like, it's, like, when life is hard, I don't even feel like a human being. I don't know what I am. But, I mean, you should be able to say to your doctor, like, okay, here's a better one. What's underneath our skin, or excuse me, what's underneath our clothes is private. That's why we cover it up. It's private and it's weather conditions, but basically that's personal space. What's underneath my clothing is my personal space, and I do not need to share it with anybody. And it doesn't need to be anybody's. Who cares? You don't need to know what's underneath my clothes unless I want you to know what's underneath my clothes. And then we can have a discussion about it. Or my doctor, when I'm in my doctor's office, we can talk about what's underneath my clothes because they're the ones caring for my body. But the rest of the world, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know. It doesn't need to be a deal. I think eventually we can phase out the way we refer to people. I work on it all the time. I'm trying so hard to stop using sir and ma'am. I just kind of the way I am, and I've always been that way for a long, long time. But I want to stop using it for my own personal decisions. Like, there's choices that I want to make in this world and changes I want to make in myself for specific reasons. And so I want to look at the world in a more open, non-labeling way. You know what I mean? So I just generally, I'm trying to stop using those the gender-specific types of labeling or addressing human beings. Because, well, I was going to say we're all human beings. I don't think that's even the case anymore. Like, there are human beings, and then there are these things that walk around that seem to act like they have emotions. They act like they experience and feel things, but I really don't think they do. They have no concept of why you shouldn't hurt people. Like, justification gets them to do whatever they want to other people, and it's just messed up. But anyway, that's a whole other day. I want to stop using sir, ma'am, he, she, and just refer to people as people. And maybe over time, like, just by just trying to look at people as people and refer to them by their name, and then try to, and just, eventually, I think without trying, we'll just have removed those ways of speaking out of our vocabulary. Because whether you're a male or a female shouldn't be anybody's business except for your doctors and who's ever in bed with you. Children, you're grown up, they'll know. But those things don't have to be a discussion on the table. Now, when it comes to restrooms, because I know that's a lot of an issue, because people are afraid for their children, they're afraid for their loved ones, because there are people who are not okay and comfortable in what they're trying to do. People don't want the testosterone in with the little kids and the women, and men don't want women in there with the men. Like, I understand where all that goes. And so a solution for that is more of an open restroom style. Instead of like these secure closed places, it's an open restroom style, and each door has a lock. Do you know what I mean? You go to the bathroom, you go pee, and you come out. Anybody loitering and lingering in there, dude, there's something wrong, and you'll get picked out right away. Or there's weird, and then there's just normal. And if you can't just go into a bathroom, close the door, go to the restroom, and then walk out, wash your hands, address your looks, and then leave, then there's something wrong with you. Like, I go into men's restrooms all the time, not to join men in the restroom, but if I travel all over the country, and so if I go into a gas station and they're full and there's ladies in line, I wait for the men's room to open up, and I go in there and I go to use the restroom. And I don't go in a communal men's restroom where there's stalls and stuff. But I have, but I've had people stand at the door, because men don't, they got urinals. And that's another thing too. Take the urinals out. You should put a urinal into a closed stall. We need to have our body parts private. And that goes for public restrooms also. It's just, there's nothing wrong with that. It should be that way. You shouldn't have, like, if we want to be able to accept things and be progressive and allow human beings to evolve naturally, we need to have an understanding of privacy, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and keeping our bodies covered, in public and among strangers. Like when you've got people marching naked down the street, that's too much. That's inappropriate, because you're exposing that to little kids. And then, when you expose little kids to things that their brains and emotions have not developed enough to handle, you mess them up, and then they get weird, and then everything's weird. And we keep messing up people, and they keep getting weird, and they're uncomfortable in their own skin. And being a teenager is hard enough. That's the only time you should really be uncomfortable in your own skin. You know what I mean? Like, that age between, like, when you're preteens and teenager, and, like, when you're just, everybody's weird. Everybody's weird when they're 12 and 13 years old. Every single human being is weird at that age. And then you kind of grow out of it. But you shouldn't live your adult life uncomfortable in your own skin. It should be a phase when your hormones and chemicals in your brain are all sorting themselves out. That should be the only time you feel uncomfortable. Because your body's going through a lot of shit, and it's growing up, and it's changing, and it's settling in its place. And if you have the great loving foundations that you should in your home, it can be a pretty harmless process, So why can't we just take the rules and regulations? And gender shouldn't have anything to do with your faith. It shouldn't have anything to do. Sorry, the light in my car went out. It's kind of dark now. Gender, like, what you are is what you are. It's your life. Be comfortable in your own skin. Find out what that comfortable spot is and do it. And you change it as often as you want to. Nobody needs to care. It doesn't matter. Remember, I don't, but you look back in time. Oh my gosh, when guys started growing their hair out long, blue jeans when women started wearing jeans and pants, and just the changes that have come over the country and over time. This is just another one. Let people be whatever the fuck they want to be. And what you got going on between your legs is a private discussion between you and your doctor. Nobody else needs to fucking know. And you don't have to feel like you need to stand up for some right to be able to say, I don't have to disclose that. You don't have to disclose that. You shouldn't feel like you do. Applications, no more asking me if I'm a male or a female. You ask me if I'm capable of doing the job. You know? We're making people weird because we're not allowing them to evolve. Right? Catholicism, the religion, governments, there are infrastructures put in place that have contained human beings because there's a level of control that is enjoyed, a luxury enjoyed, and the only way that that gets to be maintained is if we don't grow and change and develop naturally. We're being, our evolution, our evolution is being stunted. Our growth is being stunted. We're being caged and not allowed to evolve, because that means that power shifts in places that I don't ever get to be a part of, because, well, I am an abused person everywhere I go. So I'm at like the bottom of the bottom, apparently. So I don't know what types of those circles are that have the control, but that's all it is, really. You know? So we don't need to be fighting each other down here on this level, walking on the earth. We are the mechanisms that make this world go. This is our home. This planet, this is ours. We make the rules, we make the infrastructure, and we change them as we see fit. We don't have to follow things that we're told or taught, because nothing stays the same. It's always changing, always growing, and there's never an end to the right answer. There's never an end to it, ever. You can't come up with an answer and that never change ever. And when it stops changing, that's because somebody has stunted it and not allowing you to believe that it can change. Everything will develop and change and grow and become something new. Everything that is alive on this planet will change and will never stop changing. So, you know, thank you all for being alive, and to every single person who just wants to be comfortable in their own skin. Thank you for standing up and having the balls to do that. I just hope we can find a way to stop having emotional investment in somebody else's sexual orientation and what they got between their legs. You know? Then we can start worrying about other shit, focusing on other things. What's between your legs is a private discussion between who you're bedding down and your physicians. Really, that's all it should be. Your family, your children. Because you don't want to lie to your children. It's another solution I got for a later day. Don't ever lie to your kids. It doesn't matter what. Nelly, stop licking your ball. Nelly. It doesn't matter what you are. It's better to be yourself and open to your children than to pretend and give them a facade. That will fuck your kid's head up more than anything else does. Be true and be honest to your kids. Otherwise, you shouldn't be raising them, because you are the problem then. And I can explain exactly why that is. I have a solution for it. So here's to solution number 1210. Just be you. We're all human beings. And gender should not be attached to our faith, who we bed down, the clothes we put on our bodies, what we decide to call ourselves, or how we feel about ourselves, and what we want to project to the world. This don't have to be an argument. We don't have to be upset, sad, depressed, or angry over it. Be whatever the fuck you want to be. Let the world change and develop, and let's keep it safe, because as long as we protect each other and protect our planet, we can allow people to grow into whatever the fuck they're gonna be, and that's exciting to watch. Thank you for being alive.